Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and this is meant to offend. So if you're offended, good. I have spent all weekend being involved as a bridal party in a wonderful, wonderful, fantastic wedding. Still had a couple moments to check in and see all of the wonderful hatred I received for the video I posted on Friday. Some support, thank you. Some respectful dissent, thank you. But today I'd really like to, I know I don't do this that often, right? Because, haters are part of what I do. It's part of this thing, meant to offend, right? You're supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be mad. It's supposed to be polarizing. So why am I doing this, right? Isn't it so hypocritical of you, God Empress Jesse, that you're going to suddenly now be mad at people hating? No, because I'm not mad at people who disagreed. I'm not mad at people who were offended. First of all, when I say if you're offended, good, I'm happy that you're offended. I still think you're an idiot, because obviously if I said it, I stand by it, and if you disagree with me, I think you're dumb. You're allowed to be. You're allowed to disagree with me, and you're allowed to think I'm dumb for thinking something different from you. That is all totally fine. That is fine, okay? So here's the thing, right? Here's the issue. The issue I have is twofold. Okay, because I got several different kinds of comments on the video on Friday. I got some people who told me that they loved everything I said. It was absolutely brilliant. It was completely, totally, 100% spot on right. I got people telling me that I was totally dead wrong. They had no idea what I was talking about. It was the complete wrong thing and all this and the other. And then I got some people who said, and this was my favorite type of comment, by the way. My favorite type of comment, not the people who agree with me. My favorite type of, I'm happy you do, yay. But my favorite type of comment, and the comment that this channel is meant to foster, is the people who said, I 100% agree with you. I don't agree with your perspective. I don't agree with what you said, but I watched the entire video and I appreciate your argument. I like what you said. It was interesting. It made me think about things. It was different from the perspective I've been hearing. It was a different look, a different perspective. So thank you for that, even though I still think you're wrong. That is brilliant. And you guys, you are my favorite people. You are my favorite target audience. Obviously, yes, if you agree with me, I love you too. That's great. But it depends, because I got two types of comments of people who agree with me. I got people saying, yes, this video, everything you said, 100%. And I got people who probably strayed a little more to the fanatical side of things, being like, yes, overzealously, like, didn't watch the video, but as soon as, and this was happened on the extremes on both sides, right? People who didn't actually watch the video, but as soon as they heard which side I was on, decided to write a comment spewing their own beliefs about it, most of which had very little to do, if not nothing, with the argument, all right? Because on the dissent, on the far side of the people who super disagreed, and these were the comments that I hated, that were stupid, and that I'm mad about, okay? I'm not mad if you wrote a comment where you're like, I think you're totally wrong, and that you just don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. Like, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. I'm not addressing those comments. You're totally entitled to have that opinion. I do that to you. You got to do that to me. Okay, the comments that bothered me, right, were the number of people who wrote these, like, friggin' paragraphs about how Brett Kavenaugh was so clearly innocent in the sexual assault allegations, and how Christine Blasey Ford was so clearly lying and so clearly wrong, and I'm just a stupid, terrible person for saying that, an awful person for saying that, right? Okay, first of all, my video was not about that. My video was pointedly and actively, so if you watch past me saying, no, Brett Kavanaugh's not qualified, what you would have heard was my next statement, which was, this video is not going to be about the sexual assault allegations. Not at all. 0%. So everybody who went off and off and off about how innocent he was and how clearly lying that Ford was, you guys are the effing moron. Don't argue with me about something I'm not arguing with you about. Right? I may believe one thing, you may believe another thing, but the bottom line is there are no facts one way or the other, right? There's no solid concrete evidence one way or the other, so it's all about who you believe. And there are thousands of Americans that believe Christine Blasey Ford, and there are thousands of Americans that believe Brett Kavanaugh. And the reality is, we don't know who's right, and we probably never will, and that honestly doesn't matter in the course of things. So the fact that you're arguing with me over something and you're trying to tear me down over a statement I never even made just shows how ignorant you are and how much you just toe the line of whatever party line or ideology that you're doing. And that's my problem, right? I don't care if you agree with me or if you don't. I want you to be a thinking person who respects people who have different opinions from you, all right? Because if you have an opinion regarding that, and I've heard a lot. I've had many conversations over the past several days, over the past several weeks, with people who are in favor of Brett Kavanaugh sitting on the Supreme Court for different reasons. And when we'd have discussions, there are things we agree about and there are things that we don't agree about, right? So that was another type of comment in the vein of the uninformed, uneducated type of side of things, where people who were like, everyone was all like, well, why weren't you, like, wouldn't you be, if you got accused of sexual, wouldn't you be like that? Well, maybe, probably, but the reality is I'm not everybody, and or I am part of everybody. You are part of everybody. You're part of everybody. Somebody who is up for one of the most powerful positions in this entire country, the highest position you can hold as a federal judge, isn't everybody, and I don't want them held to the same standards as everybody else. I hold them to a much higher standard. Yes, they should be superhuman. They should be a world above. They shouldn't have the same normal flaws and emotional leanings, especially as a judge. They shouldn't have the same level of emotionality as anybody else. And I've talked to many people who think that in every other way, Brett Kavanaugh is 100% qualified. And by his resume and his body of work, in many ways, yes, he has done the necessary things that make him qualified to do that. There are arguments about partisanship that I could entertain, but many of those people who 100% think he's qualified still think that the temperament disqualifies. Many people in the Army too, by the way, right? Because if you talk to an officer in the Navy, in the Army, etc., right, they'll tell you they get pissed off about things too. But in their position, it's not appropriate for them to lose it. If they get attacked, called names, heckled, whatever, things like that, if they get called out in their position because of their job description and the demands of their job, it is not appropriate for them to lash out in anger or act emotionally in public, in a very public setting, no matter how they feel. Right? So no, it was not appropriate for Brett Kavanaugh to comport himself the way he did in his Supreme Court hearings, no matter what he felt, no matter what was going on, because he's not you, he's not me, he's not Joe at the bar who had a bad day, right? And yes, it's a horrible thing to have to deal with, and to have going on, but the reality is he is in an extraordinary position, and he's being put in that extraordinary position and expected to be an extraordinary person. And yes, he acted like everybody else. So no, I don't want that. So anyone out there, if you were like, oh my God, wouldn't you act like that? I've had this conversation with many people about many different positions, right? How you or I or anyone else would act in that situation is irrelevant because we're not qualified to be Supreme Court justices, not even by a long shot. So the qualifications and the type of human you must be to have that position are different than the qualifications it takes for me to stand at a strip and referee a fencing bout, or you to go to your job or do whatever else it is you do. So that's just invalid. Like, I don't know, and that bothers me. Like, don't you people think? Don't you think about these kinds of things, right? So the third type, the totally different type of comment that bothered me too, and this one really pisses me off, is people who act like because they disagree with me, long weekend, lost my voice, that I don't have the right to be disagreeing with them, that I don't have the right to my opinion just because they think I'm wrong, just because they think I'm uninformed or uneducated. Well, guess what? If your opinion is different from me on this particular instance, I personally happen to think that you're wrong and ill-informed and not thinking about it in the right way. But guess what? I get to think that about you, you get to think that about me, and we get to have a conversation about it. And I will listen to your side as you listen to mine, or didn't, because most of you clearly didn't listen to the video, got about 2 minutes in, and were like, I have opinions! So if you want me to hear your side, listen to mine, and that's fine. I'll argue about it with you. If you want to leave comments on this video, right, addressing some of those things, addressing your disagreements, the disagreements you had with that video or this video or any other video, as many of you have probably seen, if you leave an intelligent, thought-out comment that addresses the things I say in a video, I will respond, and I will respond respectfully, and I may still disagree with you, but I will respond, because those are the kind of dialogues I want to have. Now, if you come on here and want to listen little girl me, which I got a lot of, okay, dear, you obviously don't know what you're talking about, right? Then, like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. If you want to treat me like I don't have the right to my opinion because I'm somehow some stupid little girl because I disagree with you, fuck right off. Who the hell are you, right? And by the way, how many followers do you have? Because that's a bottom, like, the thing at the end of the day is, like, and that was another one I loved. I had a few people be like, you're done. Your channel's over now. No one's going to watch you. You just sunk your ship. Your life as this is over. And that just made me laugh. That made me really giggle very, very hard, especially because it comes from people like, I'm sorry, like, I am very proud of the following I've built up, and I hope that I've done that. I hope I've earned that. I hope I've earned the right to be there. Obviously, the rest of you who didn't unsubscribe perhaps still feel that way. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not done. You didn't sink me because of this. Like, yeah, for every one of you that was all like, oh my God, I hate your video, it's so stupid, right? I will find other people who are willing to have intelligent discourse, who are willing to disagree with me in a respectful manner, who are willing to have those conversations. So that's, I mean, like, what else? What? I'm still like, it just bugged me. Read those comments and they bugged me, right? Most of my comments, and a lot of times I ignore this kind of thing, right? But when it comes in such a high volume, and look, it's a matter of pride, as many people pointed out. My Friday video was very much a meant to offend video, even if it didn't have the title on it. And so I'm proud of the number of people I pissed off and offended. I only have a few videos that really have accomplished that. And so it makes me happy. It makes me happy that I got you all mad and that I got all your panties in a wad. But what doesn't make me happy is like the self-right. I think that's really the key, right? It's the self-righteousness. It's the self-righteousness that you are somehow so entitled to your hatred and your, like, that somehow your opinion means more than mine. And at least, look, I don't think my opinion means more than yours. I really don't. I present it in the way that I do because it's fun for me and it's how I present my opinion. But that doesn't make me right. It doesn't make me God. Maybe 40 years from now, I'll be making another video being like, yeah, I was totally wrong about Brett Kavanaugh. Who knows? But the point is, and the difference is, I am willing to be that person who says I'm wrong. I'm willing to have somebody change my mind, and I'm willing to hear those perspectives, even if I don't agree with them. I will listen to them. I will hear them, right? I will give you your stage. I will give you your platform. I will give you your floor, which is why I invite people to, if you dissent. And I've had people reach out with me. I've had people on the channel who say, I want to have a discourse with you because we don't agree. I welcome that. That is what I want, right? But if you're one of those people who just knee-jerk gut reaction was like, obviously he's innocent, and anybody who believes that Ford was right is a terrible person, and a this and a that, guess what? You're basically an SJW. Like, that's how you're acting. That's who you are. That's who you've become, is just the conservative version of an SJW. If you get triggered the second time someone agrees with you. And so that was the thing that bothered me too, the hypocrisy of things. Plenty of you people who went out there and unsubbed and were like, you're done, I hate you, oh my God. Plenty of you people were the ones giving me the round of applause anytime I lambasted SJWs or anyone on the left. Anybody I lambasted about idiotic third wave feminist opinions and things like that, right? That's a bunch of you guys. Well, probably not you because you're not watching my videos anymore, but a bunch of those people who pieced out, those are those people, right? Those are those people who were like, yay, a round of applause for you on that. But the second I say something that triggers you, whoop, off you go. And honestly, like, this never ceases to entertain me, this whole thing. I know that's going to happen, and that's why I freaking do it. Like, every now and then, I'm going to drop a video that I know a bunch of you are going to be real unhappy about. But as I stated on Twitter, and as I reiterate today, right, I'm not your safe space, right? I'm not here to make you feel good. I am not here to validate every single one of your opinions. I'm here to challenge your perspectives. I'm here to challenge your worldview. And I'm here to challenge the way that you have discourse with the people around you. I believe in being blunt and brutally honest at all times, but respectful. If you're too intimidated to share your opinion with me because I present it too harshly, that's your problem. Don't be such a beta bitch and grow a pair. All right? But if you want to have a conversation with me and you want to express your opinion in a way that respects me as a human being, because I may disagree with you and I may think that you're a fucking idiot for thinking the way you do, but I will not treat you that way. I will listen to you with respect. I will give you respect, unless you want to talk to me like I'm an idiot, in which case all bets are off, and God bless you if you want to go with me in that kind of arena, in any arena, really. I'd like to see you try. All right, that's all. Just a lot of feelings. Gonna go get an airplane in a few hours, go home for 2 days, get another airplane. You know how it is. So, if you want to see me on October 20th and you're anywhere near the Midwest or have the means to travel, Newaygo County Comic Con on the 20th. Looking forward to seeing you all there, Fremont, Michigan. Hopefully enough of you lingered on, like, your sadistic thing. I was like, I'm going to watch this video to see what she said about the haters because I was one of them. Hopefully you're offended. I really hope so. If you are, tell me. And if not, tell me. I don't care. Tell me whatever you want. Tell me whatever you want. Tell me whatever you want, and I don't care. If you leave an asinine comment about how offended and upset and whiny and triggered you are, great. The point is that you're offended. I'm happy. Good. I'm going to go, like, drink tea and play with my giant dog while I still get to see him. That's all. Bye.